Welcome to Lesson 4. This is a continuation of our work on Lesson 3. We're simplifying and solving equations containing rational numbers. I can simplify, then solve equations that contain fraction and decimal constants and coefficients. So on our next page, you're going to see many different cards that contain equations on them. And what we're going to do is we're going to practice solving two of them. I've chosen one that has fractions and one that has decimals. And then you're going to find cards on the other side, the second half of the paper, that might match these answers. So we'll do two together, then I'll ask you to complete the rest on your own. So we're going to start solving card B by first simplifying. And I see that the distributive property is being used, so that's the first step, if you recall. So even though this is kind of in the middle of the equation, I'm going to take 1/5 times 10x and then 1/5 times positive 5. So that I don't forget about the 12, I'm going to go ahead and drop it down. It's not affected by what comes after it. I'm then going to take 1/5 times 10x, and that's going to be 2x. And you can use your calculator to double check that. And just so you know, when I am multiplying a fraction times a whole number, I want the whole number, if I'm doing this without the calculator, to be written in fraction form. So I'm multiplying these two together, and when I multiply a fraction, I move straight across. So this is going to be 1 times 10 is 10, 5 times 1 is 5, and then when I reduce it, that's where the 2 came from. So to continue, 1/5 times 5 would be 1. So same process, I'd take 1/5 times 5 and write 5 as a fraction. I'd get 5 over 5 when I multiplied straight across, and that would be 1. And this now equals 59. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this so it's not distracting in the rest of our math. So the second step I want to take is I want to combine like terms. So I see that there are two constants on this side of the equation. I'm going to take the 12 and I'm going to combine it with 1, and that's 13. I'm going to drop down plus 2x, and that equals 59. So now we're done simplifying. We're going to move on to our solving step. So I'm going to first eliminate the constant. So I'm going to take away 13 on both sides of the equation. And I have 2x left, positive 2x on this side. And on this side, oops, I wrote this as 50. My apologies, it should be 59, not 52. So I'm going to take away 13 from 59, and that's 46. And then final solving step, we're going to move on to eliminating the the coefficient. And the answer is x equals 23. So we're going to hang on to that answer in a few minutes when we look at the sheet that has the cards on it. Next, let's move on to solving when I have decimals. Once again, I see the distributive property kind of in the center of the equation, so the number that's side by side to the parentheses, I'm going to multiply both terms inside the parentheses. So once again, I want to leave this 8 6/10 x. I'm just going to list it. It comes first, and it's not affected by what's behind it. Now we're going to take 2.2 or 2 and 2/10 times 2x, and they're both positive. So we're going to get positive 4.4x. Next, 2 and 2/10 times negative 5. We have to be super careful with that. Would be negative 11. And once again, we have a calculator. Be sure to use it if you have it. And on the other side is 54. So you can check that. Next, we're going to go on and we're going to combine like terms. Well, this time I have two x terms, two terms that have x. So 8 and 6/10 plus 4 and 4/10 would be 13x. And we have minus 11, and that equals 54. Now we're to the solving step. So we are going to add our constant to eliminate it on this side. We're going to add 11 because that's the opposite of subtracting 11. And we're going to have 13x left over. And on this side, we're going to have 65. Our final solving step, we are going to eliminate the coefficient. We're going to divide by 13 because side by side 13x means 13 times x, and the opposite is division. So when we finish this, we have these eliminate. We have x equals 5. And again, be sure to use your calculator to check your work. So now we're going to look at the next the sheet with the cards on it and see what we need to do with these answers.